Going to discuss about how to call the random number. So the random numbers, like we can call some random number. So for example, there are many modules in the Python. If you call the one of the module called math, so if you are going for any calculations and everything, you can call math. And if you want a random number, there is a module. If you call, then it will be the Python itself generate the random number to the file. And today we are going to discuss about the random number, like two kind of random number. First one is the integer and the second one is the float. The integer is the 1 2 3 4 5, like a whole number, and float is like decimal points, like a 1.2 or 2.3. If you find any decimal, then it will be the float. So for that we import random. So that's a module called. So even though when you say import, then you can see what random. So here we can see that import module random. So this is the one we are going to import. Then I'm going to generate a random number is equal to, so it's like calling that module or that function to this particular variable called random number. So random dot rand int. Then we have to define 1 to 10. So I'm just going to produce some random integer number, that means whole number, so like in between 1 to 10. So each time when I run this code, we will get some random number in between 1 to 10. So what we are going to do, that random number what we select. So if I gonna run this one, let's see. So I got 1 the first time, and the second time when I go to run, when I get 1 again, then I get 5. So it's like basically each time when you are running, so we get some random number 10. It's like a literally generating. There is we can't predict which number is coming, but we can only say that all the numbers are different. And the second thing is we are going to say along with that how to code, because whenever I was running this file, we can see all of them are whole number 1 2 3 up to 9, but there is no decimal point in it. So if you want to call a decimal point, then how to call? So for that I'm just calling random float number. Sorry. So I'm just defining a new variable is called random float, and in it random dot, because basically what we are doing that we are calling parameters of things from this module. So this module is already encrypted in Python itself. So random dot, then again I'm calling the class within random. Then if you say like this, then it will be, it's like automatically if you generate like this, then it will produce a random number in between 0 to 1. Maybe 1 is not including. So we have to print this function, print random float, sorry, random float, not the number. So you can see that the first is 1. So what this script is means that it's between the 0 to 0.99. So here we can see 1 and 0.277. So if I would say I define print, so this is the basic way. If you basically define another variable, random float random number multiply by 20 for example, then we will get some higher value. So in a way that we can just like higher the value, this value without 20, this is 0 to 0.99. So then here we can get some multiply by some common number, then we can produce this kind of number. So even though if you produce that one in the loop, then we will get some different number. So the application of this one is mainly we can generate the random number for the further calculations. to get. Like for example, if you have a certain list number that we are going to discuss later, then if you want to call a particular event or particular things in between, then we can call this one. And we have a mini application that we will see later. So here we can see the random number. The random is called module, so we are import that module from the Python script. So that's we can see that all the details here. Then this is in between 110, so we can define 1 to 100 or 1 to 200 or 1 to 1000, then we will get accordingly. So this is now 1 to 1816 is like in between this generating a random number. And other thing is like when you want a float, then we use the random.random. Then we will get the random number as float.